Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to tell you that why you should play Near and Far. Near and Far is a game by Ryan Lockett from Red Raven Games, who is famous for doing the artwork, doing the game design, doing the writing, everything all by himself with the help of his wife. He does that, and that's an incredible feat. Near and Far is the second game in the series of these Arzium adventures. The first one was Above and Below, the second one is Near and Far, and the third one is Now or Never, something like that. Some James Bond like title. Anyway, so in this one, this is a Euro mixed with adventure game in which you are going to be exploring the world of Arzium in as well as trying to gather resources which can be coins, gems, and reputation with different clans, and you will be exchanging those to make these different item or quest cards. And once you have completed them, it's going to give you victory points as well as special abilities, and these are the victory points that once the game finishes you will be calculating those victory points to see who was the winner or who was the best adventurer in the game. This game is an adventure book game in which you will be getting this adventure book. So instead of a game board, there are these lands which are made on pages of a book, and it is thick book, not just simple paper, on which you will be playing. So on each of these missions that you will be going, you can play it as a campaign or you can play it as a one shot as well. Both modes are allowed, as well as a third mode which is a character based story mode. Any way you want to play it, this same game board, you can, if you're playing one shot, you can select any of these maps and start playing on them. Essentially what you would be doing on these maps is that you will be exploring, collecting resources, doing some quests, and then going back to your town area to utilize those resources to get better upgrades or adventurers to go with you to help you get on a better quest and farther away from your home cities. Now, each character is going to get their own player board, which is shown here, and you will be starting with one character only adventurer, which is going to be either your pet dog or pet cat, but there will be other adventurers that you can hire from here. Now each adventurer will also start with these huts, which are going to be used to show that where you have camped, and also slowly expand your influence across the board. And then you will be starting in this town city. For each of these maps there is going to be one main town city where you're going to start. So at the start of your turn you might be starting from within the city itself, and you might be trying to buy things using the gold that you have, or trying to upgrade before you go on an adventure. So for example, what are the different locations that you can go? There are mines. You can directly go to mine to place one of your these huts to collect some gold. Once you have done a digging in one of the mines, because it's made like a tunnel, you can go horizontal or vertically down, so you will be getting better and better rewards as you move further, and that's how you keep on increasing your influence in the mines. One of the things that you are trying to do is complete or utilize all your tents, because the more tents you utilize, there will be rewards that you will be getting from underneath, as well as there is a scoring for how many tents or how much adventure did you go on. So as you can see, the first one that I will pick up, I will get one additional gold for going there and one gold for going to the mine, and that's all one of the ways how I can collect gold. Then the second location is going to be this Mystic's Hut, where I'm going to get some kind of treasure. And these are items which are going to help me, give me some special abilities to help me on my adventure. So I can go to the Mystic Hut and get this card, and there are these spaces where I can equip them. So I can never equip them from more than 3, and that will also depend on the number of animals that I have on how many items I can equip. Speaking of animals, I can go to the stables to actually buy these animals who are going to help me pull these carts, and you can pay the required food, which is bread in this game, to buy a kiwi bird. Where do we get food from? You can go to the farm area, and then based on how many skill hand symbols that you have, you can earn that much food. So for example, my adventure right now, my dog can help me do one of the hand symbol is there, so it can help me get one food. If I have more adventurers in my party, I can ask them to go and help, give a helping hand in the farm, and that much bread I will get. So for example, I went to here, and accordingly I will get some bread to keep with me. Then there is also a journal store. At the journal store, what I can do is I can get directly a gold for trading some things, or I can get some item cards. I'll come to item cards at the end, what those are, because in the end that's going to be one of your main objectives. Then there is saloon, where you are going to go and hire these adventurers, and of course they will have a cost which you will have to pay to actually gain them. uh, these adventurers come in different categories. These are the different branches or tribes that you can go and hire based upon. And the more guys of a same tribe that you get, you might get their chief's attention, and that chief will join your crew as well. These crew members are going to give different kind of abilities based on what you're willing to pay for them. So for example, this one belongs to the yellow tribe, and he has 2 health, and the more health you have, the more further away you can go for adventure. He gives a fighting ability as well as a hand symbol. The hand symbol generally is going to be the most useful one, because for any kind of skill test that you will get to do on different quests, the more you can do or easily complete those quests if you have more hand symbols. But this one only gives the hand symbol and an eye symbol. Again, these symbols, we don't need to go in those details, but the good thing is on the back side there are also other characters which can be used in above and below as well. So you can combine some of the material from this game in the previous game, above and below, and use these characters in there as well. But anyway, let's focus on near and far for now. So that's one more thing. You will be hiring someone and increasing your capabilities. For example, I get this one, and I can hire or at least have active 4 characters, and they need to be of different types that I can have here. Only 1 character. So as I said that you want to hire more of the same tribe, but the problem is going to be only one of them will be active when you go for adventuring. The other will remain in the town at that time. So you are paying more to hire these guys and get the chief, which is going to again give you some of the important victory points. But there is a backdraw as well, that most of those characters are going to remain idle. The good thing is there is a discount that you get if you buy of the same type again next time. The last one is the town hall. And at the town hall, you are mostly going to end up in a fight first. The town hall is used for trading goods, exchanging one type of resource to get another type of resource, or complete your quest. But the problem is going to be that if at town hall or any of these locations 2 characters are available at the same time, then you need to have a duel, a fight with them, a standoff, and only based on that fight you're going to decide who gets to utilize that location. So it's a small worker placement element here, where you can claim another spot by doing fight. How the duels are going to work is based on how many sword symbols that you have. Those are your confirmed fighting skill, plus you're going to roll a dice, and whatever gets added, whoever gets the higher dice gets to stay there, the other one gets booted. Even if you get booted, there are rewards that you can get for booting. There is also a mechanism of dirty fighting or honest fighting. So if you do dirty fighting, you're going to get additional plus points, but if you do clean fighting, you get better reputation as well. That brings us to this reputation track. So players are also trying to get better reputation. If you have positive reputation, those can immediately give you victory points, as well as there might be other quests for which you need a certain reputation to complete anyway. But there might be other bad quests as well, which for which you need to complete, you need to go in the negative rating anyway. So you will be trying to see that what kind of things I'm trying to achieve, and accordingly, should I be more in the positive reputation, which is normally better, or in the negative reputation. And the easy way to get negative reputation is do dirty fighting. Now, the trading that you can do here is on the board. It will give you a chart of the trading values. The bread is, for example, a value 1, but a gem is value 2. So if you want to convert bread into gems, you need to pay 2 bread to get 1 gem. So that's what this area is for. Also, what you can do here is discard one of your item or quest cards. Now, let's come to these item and quest cards. At the start of the game, the players are going to draft these quest and item cards, and this is going to be your primary way of earning victory points. Even though you can get victory points through other means, but they are minimal. The majority of the victory points are going to come from these quests, which are mostly developing different kind of items, and as long as you can develop that item, you get that victory point reward. So these items will require, can give you certain additional abilities, but mostly they will require a certain number of items for you to deposit to build this item. So you can consider these item cards as your blueprints or recipes, and once you know the recipe, you need, for example, red clans reputation, which are the warrior clans kind of. You need 9 coins and you need an 8 reputation, and then you're going to get scroll of legends. Similarly, if you're going to make this firefly staff, you need 8 gems, 4 bread, and 12 reputation. But once you have built it, it's going to give you some additional ability, which is, for example, for the staff, 3 attack points. So in this way, you will be trying to, these are the cards which are going to give you focus, that okay, what kind of resources do I have to collect? What item do I need to complete first, which can help me in the quest later on? So the better the ability of a card can be, you can focus on that one first, because it's going to help you later on during the game. Now, we have discussed everything that happens in the town. After that, once you have decided that you have collected enough goods, you have the ample supplies, you are going to go to the main board. Once you are ready to go on adventure, you will be coming in this area. Now, what's going to happen in this area is that these are more easier ways of earning gold and gems and completing other quests as well. How you're going to do it? All these pathways are connected by these dashed lines, and then there are these resting spots. What you will be doing is, as soon as you go on a new location and claim it by putting a tent of yours on that location, whatever is written down there below, you're going to get that reward. You can pass through a location without putting a tent, but that's going to cost you on your willpower, on your speed. So when you are going to leave, you're going to add up all the willpower of your, or health, HP, whatever you want to call it, of all your adventurers, and that's your starting health when you go on an adventure, and you can never exceed it. So automatically you can understand that if you want to go further away, you will need more HP or willpower, and accordingly you need to increase this as well. But one of the advantages where the player interaction is going to come is that if, for example, I have put a tent here, then when this player is going to move through this area, he can utilize my tent and doesn't need to take a rest. So the tent is already available, he doesn't need to put their own tent. They can rest, they don't get a reward, but at least they get to move further because there is an intermittent tent available for them to rest through. The other kind of things that are available here are gems. Then there are going to be some quest locations as well. These quest locations are going to be different landmarks on the map. So for example, there is a monolith kind of thing here drawn on the map, and at this location there is a number written on the top. This number is going to take us to the second book that's in the game, and that's even bigger than the map book. This is the book of adventures or the storybook that come with the game. Based on the number and the adventure that I'm playing it on, so for example, if I was on map number, let's say 8, and then I will go to the corresponding entry here and then read that. And this story is going to tell me something about this monolith here. And it's also going to present me some options, some quests. And these are the quests we are trying to do as well. It's going to give me multiple options that either you can. So for example, you have stumbled upon a sleeping traveler under the shadow of a tree. Now, do you want to steal from the shadow traveler, or do you want to just ask him for some water? And accordingly, based on your selection, you will select, the other player is going to read this for you, give you the options. You're going to select what do you want to do, and then he's going to tell you. And these different things are going to ask you for skill test as well. So for example, if you decide that you want to just ask for some water, it might be a lower skill test, but if you want to steal, then you need a higher skill test. If you're confident you can complete that, again, you will be checking how many hand symbols for completing the skill test you have, plus the roll of the dice is going to get added to it. As long as you exceed that value, you're going to get accordingly the reward. And that's how the quests are going to work. Now this book is big, there are so many quests, and you will not be able to do all the quests that are given on the board in one game anyway. So there is a lot of replayability in this game. Plus, the characters are going to get some upgrades as well, and there is a progression from campaign to campaign. If you want to play through a campaign, you can use your character cards, and as long as you complete the game, you're going to get some XP out of it, and using those XP you can buy permanent kind of upgrades as well, and record your scores here. There might be side quests that become available based on the kind of stories that you explore. If you don't explore it, maybe you don't get those kind of keywords which become active, because sometimes the campaign will give you option. Okay, if you had helped the traveler before, you will have a keyword traveler on your card, and next time in the new map, 3 maps down the road, you might get, oh, you meet the traveler again. If you had the traveler keyword, he might help you more again. But if you didn't have it, then you didn't help the traveler before, so he's not going to help you now as well. So those kind of things can happen, and that's what the keywords are for. Then the game comes with the personal stories of each of these adventurers as well, in which you're going to play a short form. It's a medium sized game in which you can play any of the 3 maps rather than the 10 maps. 3 maps, and then go to the end story, and you're going to find the story of the individual characters as well. So there are multiple ways on playing this game. In the end, what you are, as I said before, trying to do is complete these quest cards or item cards. Sometimes you're going to get some allies or special quest items which are applicable only for that mission in a card form. There are sometimes going to be treasure chests here across the maps which are going to give you items, these item rewards from the map as well. There are going to be mercenaries or bandits which are going to attack you, and you're going to open it to see what kind of bandit you're going to fight, and the level of the bandit. If you can fight them and remove them from the board, slowly the level of the bandit is going to increase. There are some boss fights as well. So a lot has been packed in this game, and I cannot explain each and every rule of the game, because again, there is just so much more. But in the end, that gives you an idea that what you are doing in this game. You're moving around, putting your camps down, even making trade routes between different locations, getting victory points from that, getting victory points from completing your items. And at the end, once a player has completed all the tents, placed it all on the board, the race finishes. At that time, you will calculate all the scores through various ways. The game rule book has a whole page explaining, okay, you need to calculate the score based on this and this. You will calculate all that score. The player who has taken most of the score is going to be the winner. And then next time you will go to the next page and start a new adventure. And that's all the game. Now, the good things about this game, as I said, there is a lot of replayability. It is, in essence, a Euro game. You are just trading resources. Okay, gathering resources from one location, using them in another location. You have to find an efficiency engine. If I go on adventure, is it more efficient that way right now, or can I just trade here to get the resources that I need and do my upgrade or production of an item, and that's going to help me in my adventure, and then I should go on an adventure. That kind of thing, you have to look at yourself, that what's going to be more useful for you. Should I get more pack birds? These kiwi birds are called pack birds first, and then go on an adventure because I will be able to carry more treasure? Or should I go with one right now and try to be fast in putting tents around the home city so that the other people are using my tents rather than putting their own? So all of these decisions are going to be what makes a good Euro game, and all those things are here. But in addition to that, what this game adds is a layer of adventure. Once you have put these tents on the board, you're going far away to different lands. It just looks so beautiful. The artwork is pleasing to the eyes. The all the maps are pretty nice. Even though the maps by themselves, even though you're getting a change of scenery, but my problem with the maps was they don't really add anything very specific. With the storybook kind of format, they could have added new game specific or map specific elements in it which have not been added. It's just a different layout which you will be going through, but it's going to be just the same elements. The map, the only thing it uses the different pictures is for that, okay, oh, there's a monolith, so now you get to read something regarding a monolith, but the gameplay itself doesn't change. And that's one of my problems with the game. The second problem that I had is regarding the fighting mechanism. It was just okay. It's not very huge fight, and there is no really big impact. So if someone was already standing here and the other character goes there, if they lose, okay, if they win, okay, it goes out. It had already, the other player had already done what they were supposed to do. So why does it matter to them if they lose or stay? Because they were going to change their location on the next turn anyway. So that was my second issue. The last issue that I have is that yes, it's an adventure Euro game, but the adventure part is okay. It's not real fights, but I think that fighting element is what was missing from it, which made it more adrenaline rushing, and you're precipitating that, okay, how will I win this? That's not going to happen. It's a Euro game. You are going to get resources, you are going to get things, and you're going to complete the game. You are not trying to solve a puzzle, you are just trying to maximize your profits on resources. So in essence, even though in an adventure game coating, it's still a pure Euro game where you are just exchanging resources without any real consequences. If you had played Above and Below before, now this game does have a lot more game in it as compared to Above and Below. The main attraction of this is going to remain these storybooks, and it's a big and giant storybook with specific missions for each and every character, side missions, side quests, the main storyline which does continue from page to page, where holding the whole story together. Even though the whole story by itself, I don't think it was really strong, but it does exist. It's more coherent than Above and Below before. So if you do like these kind of story elements, role playing in your Euro games, then this is really a unique game, because that's not something you get to explore in a Euro game anyway. So hopefully, if you are a fan of Euro games, it's going to be right up your alley, because it adds just enough layer on top of it to make it a little bit more spicy. And that's it from me. Happy gaming!